Guys, man, there's still hope for the shonen, man. If you guys don't know what a shonen is, in Japanese it translates to English as young men. Young man, you're shonen. I think there's still hope for the young men, honestly, in the United States. Dead serious. I had the most wonderful, great, magnificent conversation with this remarkable young man coming back from work just now. I was so excited to talk about it that I just rushed home as much as the bus allowed. Come talk to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get into it right now, guys. Seriously. We had a lot to talk about, right? I felt like I was in the twilight zone on that blasted bus where I met this boy. So I'm gonna tell you what happened exactly. So I'm sitting down on the bus, right? On the seat. First of all, I've been having horrible luck with the bus all day. The initial bus that I needed to take, I have to take a total of 2 buses to work, to the office. So the first bus took a little while to come, finally get to the stop to transfer to the next bus that takes like about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to get to my job, the office. And I missed, because the light was red and there was traffic on both sides, rushing traffic by the way, on both opposing sides of the street. I missed 2 of the buses that I was supposed to take, because they were just run one after the other. So I had to wait like a millennia to get the next bus to get to work. It was crazy. I'm coming back after, I'm taking the initial bus before I transfer to the next bus. And then I'm sitting down on that bus. There's a boy sitting next to me, right? It's this young man, I don't know. I didn't think too much of him, obviously, because I'm always taking notice of my environment, but there was just something about him that stood out, right? So then he goes into his bag. He takes out a case, like it looked like a Nintendo Switch case. So I got excited because I don't know if you guys know, part of my history, I used to play a lot of video games. I went in the RPGs, the Castlevania, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, all that kind of stuff. So I was very excited seeing that, because I'm like, let's see, he's young. What are the shonen playing in 2026, right? What's popular? He turns on the game, and he's playing Earthbound Zero. I was like, whoa. If you guys don't know what game that is, Earthbound Zero, you guys should know Earthbound. The main character of Earthbound is one of the characters in Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. All the Super Smash Bros. Franchises have Ness, the main character. So you guys should know that. But if you guys don't know, this game is a super powerful, legendary RPG about 4 chosen children meant to destroy an evil in the past or something, right? Because he already won in the future or something. And then basically this evil is like evil personified, and it influences people through greed, with the Mani statue, with the painter guy, and then the Porky. I have like a little bit of stuff about that game on my channel. Anyway, I had to speak up. So I asked the guy, the kid, is this your first time playing Earthbound Zero? And he's like, yes it is, sir. Thank you very much for noticing. No one ever notices. I'm like, I know, I haven't seen anyone play that game. I said I was 34 and I haven't seen anyone play that game in decades. Not even during when I was growing up, people were playing Earthbound Zero. By the way, it's the first one before Earthbound with Ness and Gygus. There's still Gygus, I think, in Earthbound Zero, but the main character is Ninten. And Gygus is of a different form. I don't know, but you guys know much better than I do. But I'm still speaking with him. I was like, what interested you to download this game? He was like, I don't know, it just seemed like a very interesting game. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I don't think I don't know what the kids are into nowadays. Maybe Roblox and Fortnite and Apex Legends and all these silly games that run the same way, and they don't really give you any acceleration of thought, any profound thinking of any sort on any level. So I was just very surprised that I'm seeing this kid play this game. We started talking a little bit more. He showed me all, I was like, what else do you play? Because it was a long pause. It was super crowded in the bus, and I think his mother called just to check up on him. And then we came back to speak. And he was showing me the games he's playing. He has Kingdom Hearts 1.5, he had the Switch. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 to 2.5 on the Switch, downloaded. The guy had, what is it, the NES emulator, N64 emulator, GBA emulator. He had a lot of stuff downloaded. Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow, downloaded. I'm like, whoa, and he's played all of them. I'm like, you are a really avid gamer. So these are a lot of these games I played when I was your age, right? He said, what do you think about Kingdom Hearts? I said the story got a little convoluted and he got deep. The kid is in, I think he was like 12 or 13. The kid was going in on the theories of Kingdom Hearts 4. The guy is like, because I said, I've given up on Kingdom Hearts. I said, frankly, I've given up because that's crazy. I said, frankly, I've given up on Kingdom Hearts because the story gotten a little bit convoluted. Then he's like, oh, that's a shame. I think Sora right now is in Quadratum, which is the world that he inadvertently went to, verbatim, world that he inadvertently went to due to the overusage of the power of waking to save Kairi. Also, I think he's like, what are your theories about what's in the black box? The kid is going in. The young man is going in. And it was so interesting because it was a stark contrast to these two girls, about the same age as this kid. There was these two girls. One of them was on the phone with someone else. A lot of very self-centered qualities that she had because the girl was on the phone with she had it on speaker. No consideration, but it's okay. You know what I mean? They're young. Who cares? The girl on the phone was talking about her birthday and how excited she is for her birthday and how she wanted her friends to dress up. And this girl that was speaking to her, that was right in front of me, was only speaking about things about herself. Nothing. It was like very self-centered, not even caring about the fact that it's her birthday. I'm like, wow, I'm like thinking about the girl on the phone. I'm like, you have a crazy separation from this one that you'll have to go through when you get older because this is nuts. Like, this is crazy. Anyway, he's like, yeah, sure. What do you think about the theories of what's in the black box? I'm like this because I don't remember Kingdom Hearts a lot. I said I figured Master of Masters put something, because the game is ultimately about time traveling, right? Really. So I said that the Master of Masters probably has something in that box that allows him to transport himself through time whilst retaining his memories. That's what I thought, right? That's what I thought it was. I was like, what do you think? He's like, I think it's something that allows the Master of Masters to come back to the modern world and try to return ultimately the world to nothingness. Because darkness, he was always against darkness, as you saw in Keycover. The kid is explaining everything, all the theories of Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, whoa. I was so impressed with the knowledge of this young man. I'm telling you. Then we started talking about Sonic and whatnot, and we were going deep. And I wanted to tell him so much information. I felt like this kid was ready for enlightenment, for sure. At the very least, he's definitely one of them special kids, for sure. Because he knew way too much, for sure. So it was unfortunate because I was having a little heartfelt conversation with him. I said, my mom never allowed me to have video games when I was your age, at least play with them like this or hold on to them. He was like, well, my mom gives me allocated time. And I do well in school, so she doesn't have a problem with me having my video games. And I was like, of course you do well in school. You're super intelligent. So his stop came up, and he said, what's your name? And I told him my real name. I was like, hey, my name is so-and-so, Sombra for you guys. And he said, oh, my name is Noah. And I was like, of course your name is Noah, right? Then he said something super heartfelt. There was a din in the bus, because, everyone's yelling and whatnot, talking back and forth, people are on the phone, playing music. And the din silenced a little, and he said, will I ever see you again? Like in this very, very poignant, emotionally evocative sort of way. And I was taken aback. I don't know how to explain it. And I said, perhaps you will, like if we're supposed to. And he said, I'll hold on to that. Like, I don't know, man. And he left. And I was like, and then of course the din returns, the noise in the bus returns. We have this girl that's constantly scrolling on her phone whilst talking to her friend, not giving her friend undivided attention. And she's like, I like my nails, even though her friend is just talking about a lot of things that she's excited about this birthday celebration, pertaining to the birthday celebration in the future. I was just caught up with the kid. I'm like, and it made me feel so confident, like for young men, dead serious. I feel like with the right mentorship, I think a lot of young men could really navigate this new crazy world, for sure. And I think that even if there's a lack of mentorship, because I didn't have mentorship growing up, it was just really me bumping into walls, making mistakes, getting into trouble, getting kicked out of schools, going back into a new school, getting kicked out of schools, and all this kind of stuff. And then eventually I came to this point, right? Doing a lot of trial and error, no mentorship, no one helped. So it made me, looking at him and listening to him, made me truly believe that there is really hope. I think that no matter what kind of world there is, oppressive to creative talent or uniqueness, I think that there are still going to be people that are going to shine through. There are still going to be people that are going to come through. Like for the example, this kid. This dude was so smart. He knew so much. He had all of these interesting theories about things. Young man. And like, it seems like he understands himself to a certain degree, for sure. I really wanted to tell him, if I do see him again, which I think I will, because I saw him get on the same stop where I get on when I leave work, the office. So for sure, I think I'm going to see him again. I don't doubt it. And I'd probably give him the channel email address and put him on. We'll do I don't mind doing a mentorship thing for him. Because once we put him on to traveling, right, getting out of the United States, do not get poisoned and polluted by the mindset of the heathen of your peers, the heathen mindsets of your peers, where we need to have fun, we need to try to do drugs, we need to try to drink, try to go out and try to chase women. Oh, we got to look at adult film content. He needs someone to keep him on the straight and narrow, or else he's going to be poisoned by this wretched, cruel place. Dead serious. Hopefully I could see him again. I really hope so, because we need to put him on to travel. Not go check out Western Europe, because he ain't never, maybe he's been there, maybe he hasn't. Check out Western Europe and then go to Eastern Europe and then check out Latin America. Of course, the rule when you go through those lands, touch nothing but the land. Don't touch anyone. Don't touch anything. Just go through like a master Zehanort. That's it. And he's going to understand the reference too. So all in all, just an overarching statement of the entire thing. It really filled me with a lot of hope. It imbued me with a lot of purpose, really. That even though I mean, the kid has his own life, I felt like I'm doing the right thing with YouTube, with how I'm living my life, how I conduct myself, and all this kind of stuff. I think that it's so great to see people like this, man. He was so inspirational. The guy, man, like he knew so much. And I know there's a lot of other young men around the world that are like this, for sure. Stark contrast to the guys in Kriva Palanka, right? When we went to North Macedonia, we have the kids like, yeah, I'm not in school and I take pride for not getting an education. We're on the streets. Kosovo is Serbia. And meanwhile, they're living with their parents broke, not prioritizing school, staying within the trap. Staying within the trap. They're not doing anything creative. They have nothing unique about them. There's no aura. The more they get older, they're going to get influenced indirectly by peer pressure. And then they're going to become just another statistic, just another Macedonian. Smoking and drinking, being prideful for no reason, and they still live with their parents, or they're going to be in a crazy amount of debt. I see this kid escape, Noah. I see him escaping this financial prison for sure. Credit debt prison, and all that kind of stuff. I see that, but I don't know. All in all, man. Final words, final statement. There's hope for young men in the United States. Dead serious, man. Seriously, I'm so hopeful now, man, after that meeting, because I don't know, there was something about him, man. He was he knew so much, and he was so young, and he didn't seem disheartened by anything, you know, like this female peer, like that, you know, was on the phone, that had like this sort of cynical broadcast, it seemed like, to everything. It seemed like she's 12, 13 years old, and it seems like she lived already a couple lifetimes, and she's already jaded by the entire experience. Basically, on a very social level. Excuse me, you know? It was, I don't know, man. I feel inspired, honestly. I really hope that, you know, I run into the kid again, for sure. Because I would definitely like to give him advice. Of course, you know, naturally we have to talk to his parents and all that, because you can't get in contact. You can't do that, you know what I mean? He's young, he's a child. But if I can give him enlightenment, we're going to give him the list, get on stay away. There's going to be traps laid out for you in this world. Adult film content, distractions by your peers. Women are going to try to take away your energy and attention, because they have not gone through the impetuses to truly value who you are as a person and your personality and everything. You must be careful, please. You may think that the experiences that you have with these people are unique to you and no one has ever felt it. You need to understand you are unique, for sure. but by no means your experiences are different from any of those experiences from people like you that existed in the past. And it's seldom that you pursuing these things with these people that don't understand you, that cannot ever get on your level, right, is going to end up any different. Dead serious. So, I don't know. With that being said, man, that's the end of this video right here, man. If you enjoyed that, like and comment and subscribe. Of course, if you're not subscribed, share the video with your friends and your peers. Don't ever let this place get you down. The world, man, I'm telling you, I have so much hope. I have so much. I couldn't stop smiling after he left the blasted bus today, man. He was just like, will I ever see you again? Like, as if like I'm some, but I can only imagine how I look to like, you know, a young person, right? Like, it's like the guy is just like, yo, he has a nice coat. Like, where is he from? Like, what is he, you know, what is he from? You know what I mean? Like, you can only imagine, right, what they're thinking. I wasn't feeling hopeless about the trajectory of the world, but I'm just feeling a bit more imbued with positivity for the future. Much more optimism than I usually carry, because I'm telling you, that kid was super unique, man. And he's too intellectual to get lost in the ocean of this place. I'm telling you. Unfortunately, I think that it's the way that I'm trying to even enter the kid's life is like a time traveler, right? Like I'm coming from the future, having experienced the dangers of the past and trying to warn him of it. But in reality, him avoiding some impetuses is going to halt his growth. And so you have to allow people to go through what they're meant to go through and have them triumph over them in their own ways, in their own idiosyncratic ways, and see what happens from there. So it doesn't even matter if I try too anyway, because he's still gonna, curiosity without, if you have curiosity without an experience of the experience that you're curious about, then there is nothing that will stop you from trying to engage in that experience. Seriously. And then they'll learn from it, of course. Anyway, I love you all, guys. Stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Woo!